Fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media. My name is Judson Powell. I want to talk to you a little bit more about how we were indoctrinated as slaves and how we have been indoctrinated as people in the United States of America. And part of it is what I talked about earlier, the codes and scriptures. But now I want to show you a little bit more how it was used. So one thing that you realize is that when we were brought here, our language was taken away from us. Our names were taken away from us. Everything that we knew was basically what? It was taken away from us. And so when they took all of this away from us, it reduced our ability to be spiritually powerful. All right. So now I want to show you like some words, just some words that they have used throughout time to try to flip the script. And the reason this came about was that I had posted something on Facebook, and one of my friends came through and they gave me, they were like, well, this person was da 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 da, and they were talking to me about the gods in Kemet, and how a certain pharaoh took away polytheism. Well, there has never been polytheism in Kemet. So, and unless you know that, but that's one of the things that they try to use in order to make people stray away from practicing traditional African spirituality. See, because you say, well, there's multiple gods, but inside of their Bible, there are multiple gods. One of the first, you shall have no other gods before me. All right. So that means if there are no other gods before that God, then there must be other gods. It's logic. It's logical, right? So if you're following me, hey, look, no other gods before me means that there can be other gods, all right? And in the case, generator, operator, destroyer. Generator, operator, destroyer, okay? So think about the codes and scriptures once again, right? Okay, so now they came up with these words, so polytheism means what? Several gods. But they are in a religion that has several gods. Okay? And even though they could say Father, Son, Holy Spirit or whatever, okay, and are they all, the Trinity, the Holy Trinity or whatever, and there's always, and then there's the, like I talk about the 82 and 6, Psalms 82 and 6, ye are gods, so it's more them, because in Kemetic spirituality, there is no God. There is no word for God. So that is a word that they made up. And once again, the word that we used was the word netter, or it would talk about your nature. All right. The nature of the Most High, the nature of the Most High, how the Most High dealt with certain things by what? By observation of nature, not by, because I wrote it out or I said it or this, that, the other thing. So it was all basically what? It's the nature. So even when they said, well, you have idols. So one of the words they use all the time is idolatry. Okay. But they're not idols. What are they? They show the nature of the Most High. Because what did they observe? They observed what was around: birds, snakes, turtles, cats, dogs, whatever was around. They observed the nature of the animals, the lions, all of these different things. All of the things that were on the ground in Africa, plants, everything has a nature. Why? Because everything is vibrating. So once again, we go back to the universal laws, okay? The laws of vibration, the laws of polarity, the law of attraction. Just like, we always talk, we joke, but why is the gazelle near where the lion needs to eat? Certain things are attracted to certain other things. And it's a universal law. You can't explain it, but it happens consistently. Because if it didn't happen consistently, then what? Then somebody in the food chain would starve, right? All right. Okay. So now the first word that I already did a couple words, but the first word that I really want to get into is pagan. Okay, that's a word that is used constantly. Everybody always says, we celebrate these, and I've used it. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I haven't used it, but, we celebrate these pagan holidays and, Halloween and Christmas and Easter and all of these different holidays, they're pagan. Well, what is the word? So the codes and scriptures for the word pagan, what does the word pagan actually signify and what does it mean? And this is it. A person holding religious beliefs other than those of the main world religions. So that's its spell. That's its definition. That's how you define it. All right. So it is a person holding religious beliefs other than those of the main world religions. So, but is it objective or is it subjective? Because who decides who and what are the world's main religions? And so that's why I kept telling y'all, like, look, Islam and Christianity are the same religion and were created by the same people. They are. And the reason why is so that they could do this, so that they could say that everything else that wasn't inside of those religions is pagan. Even though Buddhism and Hinduism and another, couple of hundred religions have been on the earth and around before they ever came up with Christianity, and then 600 years later, Islam. Christianity is only 2,000 years old. And then Islam is only 1,400 years old. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Think about it. How did people, before those religions came along, how did people survive? What was their method of being able to survive? And so everything else is pagan. All right. So everything, but here's the thing. A lot of the Christians and a lot of the Muslims, what did they do? They took traditions from non-traditional religions and turned them into festivals and holidays. All right. So that's where you get Christmas and even Judaism, you get Hanukkah and all of those things. These things were taken from culture. They're not spiritual. They're not about the Most High. These things were taken from their culture because that's how they celebrated harvest, they celebrated, planting crops or whatever it was that they made a festival for, and they kept on celebrating it. And that's basically all it is. It's not, and so, but people, they come up and, that's a pagan, this, that, and the other thing, and they put a negative, remember, propaganda, it's a negative connotation. So just like when they go out and they say, well, all black men, are evil, or all black men are dangerous, or all black men are criminals, or all black men are thugs, or all black men are this or that or the other. You understand what I'm saying? So if I just label you as pagan and I keep saying you're pagan, propaganda wise, eventually everybody starts believing that whatever it is pagan. So one of the ways that they try to discredit Kemetic spirituality was by saying that it was polytheistic, that they were worshiping idols, that it was idolatry, and it was polytheistic, and it was pagan because it was out of the ordinary. But if you really research it, you'll find out that the origin of everything that they do is actually the origin of Christianity and Islam is actually rooted, and Judaism. I shouldn't leave Judaism out. Is rooted in Kemetic spirituality. That's where it comes from. And so the next word, and I only got a little bit of time because I'm gonna try to stay within the 15 minutes, is the word cult. All right. And they constantly use this. And I noticed, like, when I started researching Egypt and Kemet, when I started researching Kemet, I would notice that all of the European authors or historians would constantly use the word cult whenever they explained, or they, and basically it's a system of religious beliefs and ritual, and it's a great devotion to a person, idea, object, or movement. Okay, so even the civil rights movement could be considered a cult, right? It's not in its pure form. It's not an evil word. But once again, looking at the way that they use it as propaganda, all right, they take the word, switch it around. So you say, and if I I put a couple of them together, it's a pagan cult, and in the purest form of them, there's nothing wrong with that. Is there a system of religious beliefs and ritual? Christianity is a system of religious beliefs and ritual. So is Islam. So is Judaism. Every single system is a system of what? Of religious beliefs and ritual. And so because when I try to tell people about the Akashic curse, that's in the Bible, drinking the blood and eating the flesh is a ritual. That's a ritual. When you take Holy Communion, that is a ritual. You can so it's a cult. According to the cultists and scriptures, according to the definition of being a cult. And then we have the next word. I want to bring this one in so I can get it done. Is occult. Okay? And all it says, look, this is the cultists and scriptures. This is what it means. This is how you define a cult. Okay? It's supernatural, mystical, or magical beliefs, practices, or phenomenon. What are miracles? And everybody, oh Lord, I need a miracle. But anybody else that gets a miracle another way besides, the Christian way is a pagan cult. Or a cult, or if you worship anything else other than what's in the Bible, then they say it's a cult, right? Occult. Okay, so OCCULT. Okay, occult. All right, and it's supernatural, mystical, or magical beliefs, practices, or phenomena. So people in the Christian church, they're always talking about, I'm ready for a miracle, ready as I can be. A miracle is an occult occurrence. That's what it is. Or when people miraculously get healed from disease, and they do that, in Kemetic spirituality, healing is one of the main things that it deals with. That's why we had the discovery of what? Of medicine. The roots of modern medicine are in alchemy and in Reiki healing and in all of those different things that were discovered in Kemet. They're all rooted in that. But now all of a sudden, propaganda-wise, it's occult. But it's not. It's just something that occurs. It occurs. It's a thing that happens. It's a phenomenon. And you can't deny that it happens. And you can't say any particular one thing causes it to occur. You can't, because it is supernatural. It's not in the natural world. And our ancient ancestors studied the supernatural world. They studied the spirituality and the supernatural world, the metaphysical world. All right. They studied it and they took notes and they wrote it down. And then later on, other people started doing the same thing. Look, I'm going to tell you something. I saw a man levitate. I'm talking about no wires, no nothing, just by his own concentration alone. So I understand that, that these, it's a phenomenon. It's just something that occurred, that happened, and that he was spiritually open enough that he was a Hindu, by the way. He was spiritually open enough that he could will himself to rise up off the ground. And I'm being serious. I'm not, I wish I had tapes, but I don't. But I saw it. So I can't deny that I saw it. Can't prove it either, but hey, but it's a miracle. Anyway, so just realize that you have to look at the propagandizing of things and how it is. Just like I was telling you about the black man, like if they keep on saying certain things over and over and over again, eventually you start to believe them and you start to fear them. So you fear pagan, you fear cult, you fear occult, you fear all that stuff, but really there's nothing wrong with it. Anyway, gotta go. like button, subscribe button, love button. I love you.